everybody, welcome back to Dailies by Daylight, and it's gonna be an interesting one. Not necessarily a hard one, but it is a survivor stack today. We have 3, and we have Rite of Ruin, Sabotage, they've gone to 2 full hooks. We have Relic Veneration, Escape and collect a new item once, so those two can kind of work together if we're not the ones that bring in the toolbox for that. And we have The Awakening, Escape and Survive once, with Claudette Morel, who thankfully is one of the survivors I've actually leveled up. Let's have a look at her, shall we? So here we are, level 40. So her perks are not necessarily the worst thing in the world, but of course Deja Vu has been buffed most recently. Premonition could do with being a little bit bigger, but if in doubt we do have Adrenaline, just in case, you know. Dark Sense is still, not a terrible perk, but still not quite as useful as it could be. But that is still quite a nice selection, and we don't have many great toolboxes, but we do have some Sabotage ones. So, there is that. Hooray. But, as you can see up here, we have 670,961 blood points. That is because I have been saving things up, specifically until the Scorching Summer event was done. And the reason being that every time I complete a blood web, if an event is going, then it means I'm going to get items like this, the barbecue invitation, no longer available because event's over. And I have specifically gone through this blood web to force the entity to eat it, because I don't like having useless offerings hanging around in my inventory. I know they don't penalize me in any fashion, but nonetheless, I don't really like having them hanging around. So I will still be selecting the rusty attachments, and since we have 670k, we will probably, it's a good chance, we might actually level 50 prestige free Miss Piggy. Yeah. But just quickly, before we do that, we're going to pop into the store and take a look at the shrine. So the shrine has reset, it will be rebooting again around the 29th. And what we have as our options here are Adrenaline from Meg, and Bond from Dwight for survivors. Now, of the two, Bond is active in the entirety of the match. There is no point where Bond is not useful, but Adrenaline, on the other hand, gives you a very distinct bonus once the gates are powered. Of course, if the gates are never powered, you never get its benefits, so it's a dead perk at that point. But if you're in a Survivor Friends group, then Adrenaline is really good. And even if you're not, there's a decent chance that it'll go off, so it's still handy. Bond, however, if you've been watching my videos, you know that one of my frequent Survivor pals, Nick, has a seeming supernatural ability to be in a chase and run towards someone else without the slightest bit of knowledge of this. And this Bond, this perk right here, Bond, that will utterly counter that, because it gives you a heads up of, hey, there's a friend of yours 12 plus meters ahead of you, so turn left or something. So that also helps you find them, regardless of their injured status. Claudette does have a teachable perk that is purely relevant to whether they are injured or not, but Bond will detect them anyways, so that's really handy. And for killers, we have Franklin's Demise, and we have Enduring. Enduring reduces your stuns, which is particularly handy when you're expecting to get hit by a lot of pallets, or blinded with flashlights and the like. And then we have Franklin's Demise, which is base, like tier 1 Franklin's Demise. You hit a survivor with your standard attack, or the pig's ambush attack, because that still counts, and they drop their item. Higher levels cause damage to the item, but tier 1 is already incredibly useful. So that won't help you against pallets, but it will get rid of those flashlights, and it will occasionally damage them as well, which is pretty sweet. And it's worth noting, this is the only DLC perk in this particular shrine. So if you are not the most flush with cash, as, hey, I can sympathize, then I would pick up Franklin's Demise here, because it is really genuinely very good. It does tend to cause a lot of salt, however, but all 3 of these are base game. You can get them regardless of your finance. As long as you actually have the game, you can get these. So of the lot, I would say pick Franklin's Demise, but if you're not really into playing killer, then probably pick up Bond. Maybe pick up Adrenaline. Depends how you play. But so that is the shrine currently. Again, that will reroll on the 29th. And let's see what the entity has got for us, because I want to see if we can hit level 50 before we get into a match today, because it'll be survivors. So, here we go. And our first perk option is Bitter Murmur, or Remember Me 1. Bitter Murmur has been buffed most recently, and it's especially good if you're hoping to get to people relatively quickly if you want to know where they are. So survivors within 16 meters of the completed generator will be revealed for 5 seconds, and at the last generator, everyone's revealed for 7 seconds. And coming in for level 41, we have Noed 1 or Shadowborn 2. Your field of view is considerably wider than normal. This is a Wraith perk. I haven't leveled the Wraith, I got this out of the shrine, but nonetheless it's there. And also way over here we have an Ebony Mori. That's positioned such that we will quite probably grab both of those. But the Hex, if I grab Noed 1 now, I will probably get Noed 2 or 3 very soon, but I still have over 600,000 points, so I'm gonna go for Shadowborn. So coming in for Life, the Universe, and everything, we have Knockout 2 or Hangman's Trick 2, which has now been buffed, so it is now relevant for the Trapper. Sabotaged Bear Traps repair as well, which is pretty nice. And we have Knockout 2, which means that if we knock somebody down, maybe we're playing a slug strategy. This is very common in that. There's another cannibal perk. Survivors cannot see their dying, downed friends unless they are within a 24-meter range. This goes much higher each time. It's 12 meters at minimum. So, well, reverse my brain. But suffice to say, the higher the tier, the closer they have to be to their fallen friends to know where they are. Of course, if they're in survivor friends, this is completely irrelevant because they'll be able to see them or like relay to them exactly where they are. But if you're just running matches, pretty good. So let's go with that. Unrelenting Free or Franklin's Demise Free? Well, Franklin's Demise again is most useful even at just tier 1. Unrelenting Free, however, is not the most useful of perks. If you are just better with your attacks, then you don't actually ever need it. So let's go for Franklin's. Okay, there's Knockout 3, reducing it to a 16-meter range. Or we have Hex Third Steel 1. Now, Third Seal will not block the view of the jigsaw boxes, because very little does. So we're gonna go and grab Knockout 3. Okay, Blood Warden 3. Or Brutal Strength 1. Blood Warden is a very, very powerful perk, but it is quite situational because the exit gates have to be opened, and it then relies that you pretty much be carrying somebody before people in the exit gates have left, and if they expect this, they will leave post-haste. But if you are able to hook somebody whilst the exit gates are opened, the first time you do this, I should note, the exit gates are blocked for 60 seconds, which means people in there cannot escape. Pretty nice. And Brutal Strength 1 does help you to destroy barricades and damage generators 10% faster at tier 1, which is not unuseful, but this will be useful throughout the match. This is mostly useful right where the end of it is, but it's still a really nice perk. I'm gonna go for it. Barbecue and Chili 3, or Insidious 1. Now, as ever, the pig really doesn't have a need for Insidious. If the pig is trying to be stealthy and standing still, they are most likely going to be just crouching. Either way, Insidious does not render you invisible, so the pig's, if anything, still good at that. The pig does not have a use for Insidious. The only reason you'd have for that is if you don't want to charge first. But Barbecue and Chili, tasty, tasty, tasty. Fire Me Up 3 is in fact, oh no, very nearly the only perk here. Just sort of hidden down there. Remember Me 1. So Fire Up means that your actions grow faster with more generators that are completed. If you're a late game killer, this can be pretty handy. Whereas Remember Me, remember those gates we talked about? Freddy really likes to play in the late game. So remember me, for every time you hit the obsession, you add 5 seconds to the opening time of the gates. Now, this is still not usually enough, even at full tier, to allow you to head over to one exit gate and then back to the other before they've opened it, but it is still pretty handy, especially if you're trying to make sure one particularly annoying survivor is going to get got. But we're going to go for Fire Up, because as I mentioned, finished generators. Combine that with Bitter Murmur, combine that with Blood Warden, pretty handy. Okay, Hangman's Trick 2. Oh, Whispers 2. Whispers 2? I think so. Final Blood Web before we hit level 50. And it's got Remember Me 1 and Sloppy Butcher 2. Well, they can't all be winners. There we are. Achievement unlocked. Prestige free. Level 50. So, Amanda, you have graduated university. You have achieved your master's degree in pigsmanship. And I look very much forward to seeing what you come up with. What we got down here, Overwhelming Presence, Hangman's Trick 2. Item consumption rates increased by 80%, which is actually most useful when you're having to deal people with flashlights. More than you'd think. Hangman's Trick 2, again, actually not useful for the pig. Unless you're going up against a hard Sabo team, Hangman's Trick, not actually all that useful. Unless you're, of course, the Trapper. Nurses Calling 2, or Spies in the Shadows 3. Again, I've said it before, Spies from the Shadows, if it wasn't for that 75% actual trigger rate, it would be actually decent. But because of that, now, the reason it's still got that, just as a little history lesson, originally Spies from the Shadows was map-wide, which meant that 75% of the time was still useful because it was no matter the radius. But because it is now limited by range, it then means that you actually have to be within range of the actual crow, and also 3 times out of 4 at best. Which is just not good enough, I'm afraid, for a tier 3 perk. And I don't know if we'll necessarily make it here, but we've got Unrelenting free and we've got Whispers free. You know what I'm going to pick. There we go, just barely managed that. And we have Strider 2 from the Nurse, or Brutal Strength 1. Well, I'm genuinely not sure. Brutal Strength come in handy, and out of these 2 perks, it's one of the more handy ones, but Strider is also very good, especially like if you stack this with Whispers, you are virtually guaranteed to find the survivors. But that's using half of your perk slots, so it's not necessarily the most efficient use of your capacity. Nonetheless, it does come in handy. I'm gonna go with Brutal Strength this time around, just because I'll be discussing things momentarily, because it's just a why, but nonetheless, here we go. Right, so that's our current perk list, and it's not full, it's not filled out just yet, but hey, we're working on it, and we need to level up a whole ton of stuff. Jeez, my blood web for pig has been kind of sucky most recently, but hopping over to survivors for a moment. So here we have Deja Vu. Unlocks potential one's aura reading ability. Paranoia paired with your horror of failure helps prepare you for repeating the same mistakes. The auras of free generators, which are in close proximity to one another, are revealed to you for 60 seconds at the start of a match, and each time a generator is completed. If you're holding a map, they get added. Now, in recent games, as all killers, I should stress, not just pig, I have been seeing this perk come up a lot. It got buffed fairly recently, and I actually think that it is severely hindering killers the way that it currently works. I'm not 100% certain how it could be changed. It could be free random generators, but the fact that it is the free generators that are closest to each other means 2 things. First, it is much less likely that survivors are going to end up free-genning themselves. I described that in the last video, if you don't recall. However, free-genning is when the final free generators available on the map are in close proximity such that the killer can quickly patrol all three, hitting the survivors as they come. The standard strategy then for survivors is to either work on all three generators at once, if there's enough of them, or to have at least one of them lure the killer away. But the main thing there is you need to know where the generators are, and this means that you always know where the three that you need to break up are. And that also is a huge problem for the killers, because the killers start the entire game knowing where the generators are. The survivors always have to find them, and they're not the hardest things in the world to find, but it significantly reduces the amount of time necessary, and time is the strictest, most potent resource in this game. So, I'm thinking Deja Vu might actually be causing some problems, which might actually, therefore, increase the potency of the blindness debuff that we can get from a variety of sources, because it will hide that aura. But, yeah, so that's a problem. That I've been seeing a lot. I also been seeing, very strangely, I've been seeing Object of Obsession and No Mither a lot recently. These weren't buffed, I'm just seeing a lot of them for some very strange reason. But, anyways, let's go take Claudette out and see what we can do. Okay, everybody, we've got 3 very helpful... victims. So we have Keo.
Hi.
We have Neff.
Hello.
And we have Nickmad.
Hello, I'm terrified.
What
Hi,
perks
Sophie.
are you packing, Nick? Just so that I know whether or not to run when you're in the proximity.
Bond, premonition, self-care, and possibly knowledge because, well, I
Claudette.
could take Deja Vu. I would take Deja Vu.
Deja Vu is very meta right now.
Yeah, I'm taking
That's
Deja
why I'm
Vu.
running Deja Vu 3, Premonition 2, because I've also have Premonition 3 on Claudette, Self-Care 3, and Sprint Burst 3. And I'm bringing in a regular old uncommon toolbox, so I don't know if it'll last the 2 sabotages I need, but nonetheless, we'll see. I need to grab a new item anyway, so hopefully it's a toolbox. We'll see.
Good shit. I was going to say you could change your perk so you have that one that helps you find the chests.
Yeah,
Wonder's
Plunderers.
Instinct.
I think it's that one, yes.
Yep.
I think Deja Vu is going to make it a lot easier to escape, is the thing.
But
Place your
The
bets on
escaping
if
is
you're
the
gonna
hard
get
one, because
dodged.
that's 2 of the dailies right there.
and Neth is triple.
Triple prestige.
Yes.
Dodge incoming.
I mean,
I
we'll see.
mean,
I'm
you
seeing
think all
good
that,
ping.
Do you
so-
want to
Green
look
pink.
like us?
Oh wait, I have a tarnished coin, I'll put that up.
Yeah, bring a toolbox now.
No, I want my medkit. My toolbox is all brown.
We're trying to help Lion with sabotaging.
I'm trying to help Lion by keeping people alive.
We're Claudettes, we have self-care.
Every
Claudette.
single one of us.
Yeah, but like max heal speed medkit and will make it is nice.
What about the septic agent or a hemorrhagic syringe?
I'm not wasting my syringe on you guys.
Aw.
This is someone
Glad to
who,
know you
like,
value us so little.
It's because I'm here.
Yeah, basically.
I'm
Well,
wondering
we're down
if
to
the
10
killer,
seconds
like,
and we haven't been
missed
dodged
that we
yet.
were here.
Ooh.
It's not impossible, but I doubt it.
That's happened to me a lot.
What's happened?
Missed
The killer's just sort of been AFK and hadn't realized that a group had loaded in.
Oh, no Murray.
Ardent Wraith. Okay.
They did actually know that we were there because they clicked accept at 10 seconds left.
Oh,
Mother's Dwelling. Red Forest.
I am right next to an.
I'm right next to the house. And
I'm by the shack.
Go
I'm
up
right
and
by
over.
all 3 of the generators that my Deja Vu is, like, envisioned.
Well, doesn't it show you the 3
Why?
closest?
Oh, I got Brenum. Neff, Brenum. In your direction.
No,
That's
prenom
Hag.
yet.
Is that a hillbilly?
I think it was a hag.
Is that a
Hag
hillbilly?
could be either easy or terrifying, depending on how good they are at this.
What should
Okay.
be mint rag?
What?
Oh god, I hope not.
No ruin.
Although we... Ooh, found her.
Oh, it's a hack?
It is the hag and she's near me.
And you're near the house?
Also, she's packing Franklin's,
Oh boy.
so I no longer have my toolbox.
Well, budgets.
Yeah, she's taking me.
Oh, you got grabbed?
Not yet.
Nope, he's on the run.
I see you!
Part of empathy.
Run! Run!
There's only so far I can run to here.
I think
Next, wanna go
empathy's
get
a
the
bit
Hag's,
premonition.
Attention!
Oh, I just saw her.
She is still on me.
Hi! Miss Hag, where are you? Oh fuck!
Hey!
Get out on top of me! Why
God,
is she
she's
running away?
really after me.
Didn't she just run in the wrong direction?
Nope, she's still coming after me. Oh God.
I'm seeing her!
Yeah, Neff is on the generator in the circle.
This is one immensely persistent hag. Wow. Do we call that tunneling or what?
No.
That she ran past two different
course.
players trying to get me.
That's just not giving up on a chase. Tunneling is when you focus somebody down straight after coming off the hook.
Okay, I'm
She's a
recovering,
meanie. She stole my
and I'm hidden in the grass. So
Odds of Daystalker?
it's not a common perk. No, she's spamming.
Alright.
I'm gonna need to borrow somebody's toolbox, but that will also qualify as getting a new item. So hey.
I guess.
Basement. Are you going in the basement?
No, I'm going towards somebody who's healing up.
That would
Nick.
be probably me.
Skipped.
Ooh!
Weird.
Oh, for Pete's
Run!
sake, she's
She's
still
in
on
love
me.
with you.
What's the
Think
butts?
remaining footage at least?
She's chased me for 2 gens.
I think I'll do the basement.
Yeah, now it's basement.
Ah.
I'm half for a wriggle, so this will be my first hook. Bright side, she's brought me to a chest.
Fair enough, I guess.
Okay, there's a trap on there's a trap on like the plateau on the stairs.
Yeah, it's been weird. Oops, sorry.
I'm still getting massive heartbeat.
I think
Yeah.
she's chasing me. Chasing
Okay,
me.
heartbeat is completely gone.
Okay, Nick, can you go get lying?
I'm going to get lying.
I'm
She'll
going to
go
carry
back.
this team with the generator.
She's
I'm
going
not-
back.
Going back?
No heartbeat yet, no premonition.
Well, she's kind of high there. I'm right over here. Go get line.
I'm going
Mine's
to get lying.
mine's the trap on the stairs. Be careful
Yeah.
of traps. Crouch.
So crouch and you won't trigger a trap.
And
I know the
I'm-
range of that is funky.
I'm
She does
starting
one through
to crouch.
pallets.
I'm starting to crouch. I'm crouching.
Rescue lying before the god struggle.
I'm trying.
She's picked me up. You can run. Just a quick route.
Okay,
Hi,
you're out of trap territory. Grab me.
I'm sneaking out of here.
Okay,
The
toolbox,
tunnel
toolbox,
feeling.
toolbox, 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 please.
Damn it!
She's not going to the basement.
Going towards
Medkit,
me.
damn. And
Well,
there
you're-
is no additional toolbox here.
She had one right outside.
She's on me again.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I triggered a trap.
No, I triggered a trap. She teleported to me in the basement.
There's a trap directly in front of me.
What the dick?
Hey, on the
Hey,
plus
you can
side,
come
if
back
you
now.
don't get your daily done, then we can go to the next one.
I've already done half of one daily.
Oh, well, if you're only half,
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm in struggle now. This is... I would say this is tunneling.
I would definitely say that's tunneling.
I have no opinion.
No one should... no chase should be that dog-eat. I, escaped her, 3 different times in the course of that. She ran
me?
into,
Is that me?
3 people.
That's on you.
She ran into Nick when I managed to, wiggle
No, no,
free.
yeah.
She ran into Neff and Keo.
ran out. She ran out the door.
I don't know if there's any traps around me.
Yeah, I'll hop out a little quick, but I might just run for it.
Uh-oh, go get lying!
I am on my way to get
Alright.
lying.
We're trying this. Let me
Okay.
wait.
Kids! Move, move, move. We need to be out
I will
of here.
make it. I can heal you quick.
Make it quick.
Oops. That was a sick flip. Ah, there's a hook right there.
There we go.
Okay.
Team sick flips.
I
I
need
think you
to.
have my medkit from before.
I probably do. Yeah. I need to find a toolbox.
Yeah, I'll try
I
to
don't
get
know
Kia
where
because
she
we'll make
hit
it.
me. I don't know where she hit. She seen you.
Oh, I couldn't see her because your object thing.
Yeah.
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 Oh.
That's an
That
issue.
is
That's
really
annoying.
Stupid. They should
Yeah, I don't
prioritize-
know where I got hit, but I dropped a toolbox there.
Definitely a lot more things need to be rendered in front of those icons.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
on
I
purpose,
see
though,
another
that's the
chest.
thing.
Hopefully it's got a toolbox in it.
Fuck.
Hi, Neff.
Hi.
There's a trap directly in front of me.
Watch
me
as I
move your
get a
button.
flashlight.
Oh shit.
Whoa, I'm getting heartbeat over here.
Sorry.
Right, I'm gonna
Caroline.
pop the trap, okay?
She hasn't spotted me.
Well, you popped the trap.
Are you sure she didn't spot you?
Very
That's-
sure, because she's running away now.
Well, I found your medkit, Neff.
Is it a yellow one?
Oh, now she spotted me. Damn!
Yeah, Lang has my medkit.
Yeah, I brought her in that direction. I'm sorry.
Why?
Because I have horrible phone. I have
Ugh.
missed the first one. It's
Oh,
awful.
shit.
My game definitely bugged a bit there on getting the pallet, which was annoying as heck, but oh well.
Lying, I've got her attention.
Grand. Heals. Heals, plus.
I'm coming to help
Stay
you,
on
Lion.
Why Should Run will make it.
Don't, Nick. Really?
Why? I'm right
I think
here.
I lost her.
Hope so. Okay, let's
I
get,
think
let's
that's
get this
good.
going.
Then where's the last chance? Oh, there's one on the hill over there, back gate.
There's one in the killer shack.
Let's not do that one.
One moment,
Especially
I'll
not me, because I'm on last
kill
hook.
them, I think.
Okay.
No, wait. All of them have.
I see a
duplicate-
toolbox. I see a toolbox.
Uh-oh.
I think that's my toolbox.
Doesn't matter as
Yeah.
long as it can take a hook.
It should be able to. I barely used it.
Getting heartbeat.
Yeah, she's just gone away from the killer shack. That was really
She's
close.
found me. What's the dick?
Are you like streaming by accident?
I know. No, I'm not.
Hello, please hug me. Hunt me. Hello,
She will do
lady.
with her
hunt
claws.
me. I think she's well aware that I am
Oh, she lunged
being
that,
a
wow.
distraction, and she hates me. She
As
can
long as
hate
it
me much
works.
she wants.
As
I'm
long as it
doing a job.
works.
I'm a distraction.
Right.
And I'm dead.
Okay, you're a fair ways away from me. And she's picking you up, so hopefully I can get this. I just
I'm
need to
two
hope this
thirds on the
toolbox
right.
lasts.
Sabotage.
Saboteur.
Oh, come on, toolbox. Yes!
Looks like the
Okay.
last one in the
Wiggles,
killer shack, Neff. You're gonna
please.
come help. There's
Kia, I've
a
already
big
got one
right
free
here.
pause.
I've
Alright.
almost got it. I'm almost got it. I'm almost on a hook. I'm on a hook.
Okay, looking for exit. Oh, there's an exit
Mine
right here. That's helpful.
Keep nice and hidden. I think this is
Is-
the opposite of nice and hidden.
He's walking up towards
Boom.
you, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna
From
hide.
nowhere. Hey, hi. She's on me.
I have a heartbeat. Is that a...
That's because I popped the thing. Go,
Okay.
Line, go get Nick. Oh, do you want to open the exit
I'm...
gate?
I'll open the exit gate. I'm on last
Right.
hook. I can't
She
rescue.
has nowhere
Oh
to go.
shit! You Line, open the gate. Get
Yep.
out.
Get Nick.
Opening the gate. Opening the gate.
Someone get Nick and you guys just leave.
Don't worry about me. I'm fine with dying.
Aren't we all these days?
We are
Okay.
all depressed.
Okay, this... Blood Warden!
Are you
Oh,
serious?
I'm serious!
What is blood?
Stay away
Flying?
from the gates.
I need to
hide.
get out of this gate because she'll
we
know
can
where
see
I
you
am.
in the gate.
Yeah, I need to hide.
Isn't that her?
Sorry,
name?
Nick.
It's
Okay, I
fine.
can see the gate from where I'm hiding. I'm in a locker. I'll let you know when Blood Warden wears off.
Oh, I was right by the thing.
Well,
Oh well, everyone.
I guess it's
got
just me then.
Yeah, just
Oh.
hide until you can get out.
Yeah, just a
What
minute
is
later.
Blood Warden?
Blood Warden is if someone gets hooked whilst the exit gates are open, they get blocked for a minute.
Yeah, and we're all getting, like, there's another, like, 2 blocks happening.
Oh god, there is
she's
as well.
directly going your way, lying.
You can see you when you're in the exit gate.
I'm not in an exit gate.
Barbecue?
Yeah, but she can see you somehow because she's going straight for you.
Because I'm in a gate.
Common sense.
Right,
It's
gate
like-
is open, gate is open.
Go, go, go!
Make it, make it, make it! She is behind me, but she took a window. Oh!
Did you get out with the item?
I got out with the item.
GG!
Oh, that got close.
Yeah, it was barbecue.
Oh, wow. Lucky me. But I got all 3 of them. Ooh, that's a good 75k points.
That was tense.
Whew.
Can't see that.
Oh my
yeah,
god,
she
she
hasn't
found
killed
me.
it yet.
Come on. Just let me live. Please.
What are the odds
Kill
she'd let
two
you live,
people.
honestly?
What? That's a left.
Oh. Alright, let me see what she had. She had Blood Warden, Noed, Franklin's, and Barbecue and Chili.
That's
She was
terrifying.
packing the Dried Cicada and the Swamp Orchid Necklet. So faster time setting the traps, and significantly increased teleport range. Whew. Dang. Well done, Lun. Or Loon, I guess. Oh, and also thank you very much to Nev, Keo, and Nick.
Well, we got that done.
Yeah.